Tánaiste, we want a date for the publication of the report. You have it now, it's into the second month. What is the delay and why isn't it going to be published? This all arose in relation to the documentary by Katie Hannon. That was back in September 21. The Women of Honour, I'm not going to use my time, not waste it, to praise the Women of Honour. They have set out what needs to be done. They were never happy with this independent review. Trust is of the essence, and now we have a situation where we're delaying the publication of the report. It's essential that it's published. I've read the report by Ruth Fitzgerald in relation to the other matter. Thank you for publishing that. And while it says the Minister did everything right in relation to following up on the complaints, what it does indicate is from first-hand reports. That one was of rape which occurred overseas, a first-hand report of child pornography. Obviously, the Minister has done everything right according to Fitzgerald, and I had no issue. But trust is of the essence here, not sweet words about culture and dignity. That doesn't exist, hasn't existed. That's why we've had the review. Thank you.
What I would say in response to what Deputy Troy raised the issue of the groups, the stakeholders, the Women of Honour group. I will be meeting, and I intend to meet with those groups prior to publication and after publication. And I would say that I received the report last month, as I've said. I did send it to the Attorney General. I will be bringing it to government very shortly. I now hear conflicting reviews as to when it should be published. I don't think we can wait after the recess either for publication. And this is not going to be resolved in one day either. So what I envisage is I will make a statement to the House upon publication of the report. But when the report was presented, you do have to examine the report, you have to go to the Attorney General, and you have to respond from a government perspective to the recommendations and identify and formulate a response that can be presented both to the groups and to the Dáil in particular, because this report affects every member of the Defence Forces. And the words culture and dignity are not sweet words, Deputy, and I take very sincerely the points that have been made by Deputy Connolly. But the words culture and dignity go to the very heart of this. And this report is very far-reaching and goes to the core of much that was wrong in terms of workplace dignity and safety. And in terms of behaviour. And it's comprehensive. And there's a very significant range of recommendations that have been made coming out of that report. And I don't intend to publish it without having a position, at least, on those recommendations, which I think is a valid position to have. But I want to share it with deputies. I do want to, as I publish it, facilitate debate, or at least an initial response, and I'm open to what members feel is the most appropriate way in the first instance, but I do believe we should publish it as soon as possible, and we intend to go to government very shortly on this. I just want to make absolutely sure in the next number of days that we have everything ready, and also to engage. I'm engaging with the Chief of Staff now and the military management in terms of how we intend to act on the recommendations and the state, and we're also with the groups. My department will be initiating contact prior to any publication to meet with those groups who were fundamental in bringing these issues to the fore. But I would also say it really impacts on everybody within the Defence Forces, present and past. And that's how I intend to approach it. I will engage with the opposition spokesman on this, but I didn't quite pick up Deputy Carr. I did pick it up, but what you're suggesting is we wait another 3 weeks, or but I think what I'm trying to say, I don't intend to do it without Dáil debate.
So we'll bring everyone in again.
If that's okay, if that meets the point. I do want to, this is not going to be, this is not something that can be just kind of published and this is going to take prolonged engagement from members of the...
Tánaiste, the culture of dignity and respect didn't exist clearly from the reports and the stories told and the histories told by the Women of Honour. From the beginning, they wanted a full statutory inquiry, independent. They got a review. They were never happy with that, but struggled and did their best to cooperate with that. So let's deal with that, put that aside now. Here we are Trust is of the essence. And I share Deputy Sorka, what Sorka has said in relation to the publication. We've seen this with the Mother and Baby Home report, where you held on to the report from October till January, and then it was leaked. Trust is of the essence here in relation to this matter. A full debate in the Dáil is of the essence. You're already in receipt of a number of interim reports. You're fully alerted to what's in this report. And can you tell us precisely when you got it, when it went to the Attorney General, when it will be published? You must know by that by now. You must have an action plan in relation to this. And I'm repeating again, trust is of the essence in this, given the background to this, given the nature of what was disclosed in the documentary.
What I would say to government is this, that I don't think it was wrong. I think it was shocking. Disgraceful, what happened. No justification. And there has to be fundamental change. Okay? I have to go to government. Government has to make decisions on the basis. I think this is the process. Government will have to take, I will recommend decisions for government to take in respect of the report. There's a comprehensive range of recommendations. And so we have to take a position on those. I want to meet the groups prior to the government decision. And in some respects, I'm constrained in terms of when I have those meetings, but I will have those meetings, and then I will meet again subsequent to the government decision and publication. I would like a debate, but I can't, and again, so I'm open to discussing this with the opposition spokespeople on this, because you will need time to debate. But I think we could have an initial debate. I want to bring this to government next week. I want to, but I've been cautious in the sense that I want to make sure everything.
Will you share your decisions that you intend to bring to government with women before
but I think
they're finished?
But you know, you're a member of government. They have to go to government first, Deputy. You know that. You do know that. No.
Well, you can
But I will.
But ideas.
But I mean, this affects every member of the Defence Forces. This affects not just. You know, it really does. Every member of the Defence Force is a stakeholder in this now, in terms of the implications of this report and the follow-up action. Again, I believe that we should try and facilitate an initial debate after the government decision and after the publication of the report. And then subsequent, there's going to be further engagement here, because this is not going to be a report that gets published. And it's kind of left at that. Don't be under any illusions about that. And I don't want to go into the specifics in terms of, there's many recommendations, Deputy. I'm minded to follow through. And I can absolutely say to her, I'm going to be resolute in following through in this, because I do believe it will be a watershed moment.